Want to help support the channel? Then why not check out the merch that's available from the links below in the description. Help out the channel and get more phenomenal stuff for yourself. And now, with that, let's jump straight into the video. Hey Rage Nation, welcome back to another video. Huzzah! We're finally, hopefully back. Let's talk about this. But today I wanted to talk about Super Sentai going fully or partially CGI, and what does that mean with Power Rangers moving forward. Let's jump straight into it. But before we do, if you like this sort of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. Yeah, and let's jump to it. Many people don't believe that the split is happening, and that's absolutely fine. You can believe it, you can not believe it, but there is more and more evidence coming forward every other day that is showing that obviously the split has happened or is in the process of splitting, and it's automatically done. There is no kind of denying it. It's slowly happening. You can see it happening in Zenkaija, and you can also see it happening with the CGI Megazord that they're mainly going for, rather than using, like, say, normal effects or more having people in suits like they used to. But we can definitely see right now that they are moving into a CGI based, and obviously they've said with Don Brothers right now that we're going to have some Rangers that are going to be CGI. But from what I heard of last night, of the time of recording of this video, can't even speak, but by the time of the recording of this video, we know that some of the Rangers are going to be CGI, but not when they're actually in suit. And this kind of can work and kind of not work as Power Rangers moves forward. Going to the point where if the Megazord is all going to be CGI, because they wouldn't have spent time working with this one, with the with Zenkaija, with the Ultrazord, they wouldn't have kind of worked with it to the point where it's mainly CGI all the time. They would have gone back to normal standard elements rather than what they're doing now. But even if they move forward with the CGI element, this will make the Power Rangers suffer, and I don't think anybody wants to kind of see that. Now, CGI is really expensive. It has always been expensive, and it takes a lot more time to kind of put forward than just generically getting actors in and stuff. Effectively, if you have the different forms of CGI where you've got an actor actually acting out everything, saying the lines with the others, or anything like that, then obviously it's going to take a lot more time compared to where you could have, say, a random animal or random ranger and then voice over later. And I feel like a lot more people go towards the acting sort of side, which again isn't too bad for what it is. It just feels like sometimes it's a good thing and a bad thing. Now, obviously they've got time for in Super Sentai to kind of like perfectize, to make perfect basically how it's going to interact. At the moment, I think that the Ultrazord that they've got, the special combine, isn't very good. I feel like it's kind of trash and it looks bad. Even the set design, as well as kind of everything, doesn't look as great as what it could be. And I feel like Toei is going to actually put more money into this, because this is how they're going to move forward. And you don't want trash. It's good enough for, like, say, 1 or 2 minutes, but effectively it gets boring and it kind of gets dull and looks plain. And you kind of see that all the way through Zenkaija as soon as they did this. Now, me personally, I would have preferred a proper suit compared to CGI, but that's just me. If you also look at Zenkaija and the way that they've got the two little brothers from Flint as well as Zox, they don't fit in with the area. It feels off. It feels like it's copy and paste basically, and I've never kind of really liked that kind of take, because I feel like that is just kind of boring. It just doesn't fit with the background, and this kind of leads in, if Power Rangers is going to do this and the split doesn't happen, then I feel like they're not going to be able to introduce the right amount of element of 3D or CGI. I just feel like it would really kind of downplay the entire series, and it wouldn't look that great, as well as like kind of the actors interacting. Now, obviously we've only got 2 Rangers apparently in Sentai that are going to be CGI, so obviously Power Rangers could actually have proper humans in it, but then again, you're taking out a lot of the elements, especially if they demorph, if they do something, it's not going to look right. But mainly, I think this will hinder Power Rangers if the split isn't happening, and I also kind of feel like it's pushing a lot of things back, which isn't great. And I feel like we've gotten to the point now where the show even though it's not doing very well, I think it's at a stable point where we could have a lot more kind of interaction. But going to CGI, I think this would be a really bad take. Now, also, it's the expensive side. How do you put more money into it? How can you convince Hasbro to do this and say, hey, we need more money to put into motion capture, into CGI, so we can get this? And again, it's expensive. So if Hasbro go, well, you know, we're not going to be putting much money in because we've not had a very huge investment back, so this would actually kind of ruin it. You could have more people being actors and actually not keeping to the tradition or the spirit of Super Sentai, and they obviously make their own thing like we've seen through Dino Fury. I do kind of think this would hold them back quite a lot, because I feel that with time on their side that it would take a lot longer to get the scenes out to interact. So say for example it takes 3 months to make a couple of episodes, where it could take 6 months to do those exact same episodes. And I feel like Hasbro could turn around and say, hey, this isn't working, it's taking too long, so we don't want this, or they're not able to get it right and it just looks shoddy. I feel like if this is going forward and they haven't adapted Zenkaija because of how Zenkaija is, I do feel like they would look back at the other Sentais and go, if we haven't got anything that we're going to do ourselves, we will go straight away into Tokuja, and they'll kind of go through that way and be like, okay, we'll kind of take a loss because we carry on. But I feel like then that's after Tokuja, then they'll turn around and say, hey, we need to work on our own series, because if we don't, then we're going to kind of suffer and it's going to be the worst thing. If they go animated, they go animated. That is a better thing for them, because they're able to control the market a little bit more and control what they're going to be putting in, rather than just kind of adapting something that they don't like or isn't going to make them that much money. I did write an entire part of this where I was talking about Don Brothers and stuff, but what happens, like we found out yesterday on the 1st of December, is it the 1st of December? Yeah, on the 1st of December, we found out tons more stuff. So all of this doesn't work. Like, if they're going to do Megazord fights, I think that's going to work. But particularly the rest of it, I don't think would. But yeah, I think that's it. I don't think a CGI would work with Power Rangers itself. If it was an animated project, possibly, because then you're working a lot more on it. But apart from that, I just generally don't think it would work if the split didn't happen. But I'm going to leave it there. What do you think about this? Do you think CGI would work with Power Rangers? Do you think that it would work with Super Sentai? Let me know down below in the comments. And while you're down there, why not hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified with when more videos drop. But also, why not pick up some merch for yourself and help the channel out? And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとう。チャンネル登録、高評価お願い。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができるよ。